Randy Orton's descent into madness has been continuing, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's happening with Sami Zayn, the women's division, and more. Starting things off with what's been going on with Randy, because he's quickly becoming one of the most character-driven superstars on television at the moment. Character-driven superstars are most definitely our favorites to discuss because you can really dive deep into their minds. It feels like there's always so much going on with these superstars, and that every little thing they do actually matters and means something. In the early 2020s, that was Bray, Roman, and Alexa. Just these massive characters that were just so deep and had what felt like unlimited layers to them and everything that they did. In recent memory, we haven't seen much character-driven superstars really emerge. But that's changed in recent weeks since the contract signing between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. What started off as potentially the most friendliest contract signing of all time quickly turned into being one of the most violent contract signings ever after Randy unleashed a brutal attack on Cody. And in the weeks since that contract signing took place, Randy has become so rich in character and extremely character-driven. His character has become so interesting. It feels like everything he says matters, and his segments have significant weight to them. He's also been getting multiple segments every week on SmackDown, which is absolutely great because it adds even more layers and details to his story and character at the moment. All in one night, we're seeing him do a promo segment. We're seeing him speak backstage with Nick Aldis. He's talking to the Mystery Caller. And he's even having matches on top of all that as well. Just an absolute workhorse. And so many great segments that actually tell us so much about Randy's current story and direction. Actual great storytelling, which has become hard to find as of late. So it's great to see it actually happening here with Randy Orton. He's a troubled character that split right down the middle. Even after that heel turn at the contract signing, Randy has still spoken out about his love for Cody Rhodes and the fans, but there's also a side of him that doesn't care for anyone and just wants to win world title gold. So you got all of this internal conflict going on in his head. And on top of his own thoughts, you also got to add in the fact that the Mystery Caller is talking to Randy, influencing him and trying to manipulate him as well. So Randy's going through a lot right now. Between his own thoughts and the Mystery Caller, he's getting pulled in so many different directions all at the same time. And that's causing his mental state to quickly diminish right before our eyes. Even though a lot of fans label the contract signing incident as Randy's official heel turn, it feels like the message the story's trying to tell us is that Randy hasn't even fully turned quite yet. And that idea does make sense because it does seem like he's in a bit of tweener mode right now. He does and says evil things, but at the same time, there's still some good left in there with Randy. We see that he's been trying to hold back a bit and give warnings in recent weeks, so it feels like he's still teetering right in the middle despite what he did at the contract signing. And it feels like there's still another moment coming that will put the final stamp on his heel turn. The closing moments of the March 27th edition of SmackDown gave us another hint that something more sinister is definitely coming for Randy. After a massive brawl with Cody, Jelly Roll comes out to try and calm everything down between his two close friends, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Jelly Roll had a massive SummerSlam program last year when he teamed up with Randy and got close to him as a friend. But when Jelly Roll came out here to try and settle things down, Randy delivered an RKO to Jelly Roll out of nowhere, completely unprovoked. By Randy taking that action towards his close friend Jelly Roll, who's done no harm to him, it shows us that the dark side of Randy is continuing to emerge more and more by the week. And once it fully takes over, Randy will not second-guess anything and will drop whoever is in his way, regardless of his relationship with them. As far as this feeling goes that they're building up to a darker moment from Randy Orton, what could that turn out to be? Well, if you really want to put the exclamation point on a Randy Orton heel turn, it feels like you're going to need the return of the punt. The punt kick was a signature move of Randy's heel persona, a purely devastating move that was known to put individuals on the shelf for months. Randy has not used the punt at all since 2020, over 6 years ago when he used it on Ric Flair. So if they need something to really be that sinister moment for Randy's actual turn, it feels like the return of the punt can really be that moment that makes everyone sit back and really realize that Randy has truly lost his mind. So we'll see how that continues to play out for Randy, but it surely feels like something darker is coming for sure with him. Now, the current situation with the men's United States title has the community in quite the uproar right now. The United States has not been defended at any premium live event in such a long time. But in recent months, the title has been getting defended on a nearly weekly basis by Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo was putting on great matches with anyone that answered the open challenges. And before Carmelo Hayes, you had Dragunov that was doing the same thing and defending the title nearly every week. And also in recent weeks, they had Carmelo and Dragunov having little conversations with each other backstage, really seeming like they were building up to potentially a WrestleMania United States title match between the both of them, which would have been a great reward for the work both men have been putting in with that title in recent months. But the rug was completely pulled from under the fans this week when they decided to put the United States title back on Sami Zayn. And now we have Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams at WrestleMania for the US title. And the fans are completely irate at this move. After everything Carmelo and Dragunov have done for the US title in recent months, they get fully removed from the US title scene with just a few weeks to go until WrestleMania. The only saving grace here for this program is if they add Carmelo Hayes into the match to make it a triple threat match. Some fans have even suggested for Dragunov to be added as well, for it to be a fatal four-way match. The part that fans can't seem to figure out is why in the world does Sami Zayn have to enter WrestleMania as United States champion? Why couldn't Carmelo hold the title for a few more weeks and walk down the WrestleMania ramp as US champion? That is the big question right now that a lot of fans are asking. Because if they're going to turn it into a triple threat match or a fatal four-way either way, then what was the point of that title change? Why couldn't Carmelo Hayes walk into WrestleMania as champion, and then maybe Trick Williams could still pin Sami Zayn in the triple threat or fatal four-way match to win the title at WrestleMania? These are the different types of scenarios that fans are discussing right now, because they really feel like there was no need to do Carmelo Hayes that dirty just a few weeks out from WrestleMania. So, we'll see if Carmelo Hayes ends up getting added to the match as a last-second addition, but either way, that's a situation that has fans extremely upset. This week's SmackDown also made things a bit more clear in regards to the plans for the women's tag team titles. The women's tag team division has been full of chaos and multiple teams getting involved in each other's business in recent weeks. Although the match is yet to be confirmed, it sure does appear that they're teasing a multi-women's tag team match for WrestleMania, where we could see Alexa and Charlotte, the Irresistible Forces, the Bellas, and Lyra and Bayley all face off against each other in a massive match for the titles. So, watch out for something along those lines. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.